crushing it. It's going to be great. Okay, so hello, welcome back to I Have Shit to Say. Yeah, I guess I'm the host at this point of the stage of the game. But I do want to give everybody a trigger warning. We're going to talk about women's mental health, specifically topics around infant loss, baby loss, women's and men's mental health in terms of baby loss as well is going to come up. So if that is not a thing that you're open to hearing about, please click to the next episode or the next 2 episodes, because the next 2 will be about that as well. If you are interested, please stay tuned. We'll also offer resources in the bio as well. So I should start with an introduction.
Hello.
So what's up?
Hey.
This is Lindsay. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then I always start with weird check-in questions. So
okay, like personal, professional, both.
Whatever you want.
Hi, I'm Lindsay.
Yay.
Employee of Rise and Thrive Wellness.
Not just employee, therapist. Lots of specialty.
LCPC.
Yes.
Counselor.
Lots and lots of experience, decades of experience.
Almost 20 years of experience in the mental health field.
Woo, woo. I love that.
I love it, and I'm also like, oh my gosh, 20 years is so long.
But look, you're so young.
Thank you.
Age is just a number, baby.
Yes. So this is gonna sound really weird. Trauma, super passionate about trauma work.
That doesn't sound weird. You're passionate about healing trauma.
Yes.
It's maybe the way to say it.
Yep, healing trauma, walking people through trauma. Also this newer idea of you don't have to necessarily unpack every ounce of every detail of trauma to be able to heal from trauma.
Mm-hmm.
I like to tell people my mantra in therapy is, you know how to live with all the shit. You know how to live in the sadness. You know how to live in the dark. Therapy and healing is about learning how to live with joy and happiness and peace and calm and content.
Yeah, there you go. I love that. And most recently, you have a new certification.
I do. Recently certified in perinatal and postpartum mental health.
Yay, which is also why we're having you on today. We'll have you on again, I'm sure, about other topics. We can talk trauma with you.
Okay.
Not that also being women in the world is not traumatic.
Not traumatic, it can be, yes.
So, but before we dig into the like heavy stuff, I also was gonna ask, we always like a weird check-in question, but like weirdest off the wall, maybe not weirdest, but like most off the wall thing a client has ever asked you to watch, read, or listen to.
Yep. So interestingly enough, within the last month or so, I have had a client suggest that I watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Okay, but is that one specifically, are they all Mormons? Because I haven't watched that one.
No.
Okay.
But they all have some level of like Mormonism, ex-Mormonism.
It's a hot topic.
Significant other was Mormon.
Okay.
Yes.
Those Mormons be doing the loopholes.
They do. They do. And I was further intrigued because I do.
Have you watched The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives?
Yeah, that was where I was going.
Yeah, I'm here for this. This is not necessarily an endorsement, but also a group of women.
Yes.
Trying to rebrand some weird stuff.
Which I also think, when I heard Salt Lake City, I was like, Salt Lake City, Utah, Mormonism.
We're going to own all our biases.
Yep.
I'm from Las Vegas. I thought the same thing.
Yep. So I was sold from day one.
Have you watched the reunion show?
Of Secret Lives of Mormon? Yes.
Okay, so you like watched the part, I'm just gonna bring it inappropriate already.
Yep.
Where they talked about the poop hole loophole.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And the coffee enemas.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I like coffee too much to let it go through my butthole.
That's gross. And I'm all for, like,
you were worried that this was going to be a serious podcast.
I really was. And I'm here for all the weird stuff. And I'm here for all of, like, the new ideas and, like, the new ways of doing.
But these aren't new. I need you to know that. As somebody who grew up in Las Vegas.
New for me.
Okay, I can fully, right? Like, it's definitely new in the Midwest for people that they didn't know, right? Historically, kind of the Midwest kicked them out.
Yeah.
You know, not that there aren't Mormons around here, but we don't need to get into that history lesson. But this is a really nice, like, preface for the next round of, like, right? Like, we're going to cover some Christian topics in the church and all that good stuff. But they definitely do it a different way.
They absolutely do.
So, but I am here for their vibes on Dancing with the Stars. Not that that will be a thing until This will be long time before it's released.
We will already know who I've won. One of them is my fan favorite.
One of the Mormons? Yeah, because she's got a dance background.
Well,
we know it's Whitney, let's be real.
She kicks ass.
Yeah.
There are certain dances I will go back and rewatch, and she is one of them.
It's true, and I'm not a Whitney hater, but I will say I was incredibly, like, speaking about issues that are related to women, not about postpartum, but she just, like, released that she does Weight Watchers, and, like, that's a whole other podcast situation about, like, body shame, and, like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Glad we had that talk. I was disappointed in that.
But I do love watching her dance.
Okay. All that.
So.
But yeah, okay, so weirdest thing in Secret Lives, no, not Secret, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City that's come up. Because isn't one of those people like going to jail for fraud? For trying to keep up with the Joneses?
Yeah, so I'm only on season 2 right now.
Okay, because that just came out.
But yes.
You know, I did my research, and I watched a TikTok. Right? Like, isn't that the research we do these days?
Okay, but yes, like for like episode 1, season 2, SWAT, FBI, Homeland Security were swarming the van on their trip.
I mean,
so then I Googled.
Our listeners know that I have experience with the FBI from my last business. So,
okay.
You know,
okay.
That would be like maybe too close to home or not. I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, the whole thing is wild.
Can you like plan that? Like, how does like taping plan to be available for
think somebody tipped them off
from the show?
I've heard that in a next season, spoiler alert, in an upcoming season that it is.
It's not gonna be spoiler anymore. So
it won't be. But if you haven't watched it, it could be a spoiler.
Oh, okay, fair.
That it is disclosed who actually tipped them off.
I have not watched the show, but I might be into it now.
Oh. First couple episodes, you gotta like get in and get to know the characters a little bit.
Okay.
And then it's like game over. You gotta like
and then
block
you're
off
into it,
time.
and then you gotta
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
I appreciate that your client is referencing somebody else's wildlife.
Oh, absolutely. It is their distraction from
the world.
The world. Which I feel like a lot of us need. So
somebody else's world.
Yes.
Yeah, that's real.
Yes.
That's very real. My answer to that question is like wildly different.
I feel like I need to take notes.
I don't know the actual name of it because I can probably pull it up, but I feel like I need to not because my endorsement is an anti-endorsement. It's like we got a lot of clients. I shouldn't even say we. I mean, like we, the obligatory in the world. There's like a whole side of social media reading those spicy books.
Yep.
And book talk is a thing, right? And a client that basically was like, I need to talk about my affinity for this type of man. And so I need you to read this like spicy book. Only it was like not just, and again, I will not yuck anybody's yum.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
That comes from Carissa. She was in our last podcast.
I like
She's
that.
like, I can't yuck your yum. And I'm here for anybody's yum.
Yeah.
I did not need to read that book.
Oh, was it really that spicy?
It wasn't, it was my version of not spicy. Like I was like, this doesn't even make sense.
Okay.
And like, right? Like some of those you're like, I'm not even into that thing.
Yeah.
And like my client wasn't saying she was into that thing. It was more like characteristics around the character. And I was like, I could have done without any of these weird, and weird isn't even the right judgment term for it. Like non-sexual sexual things.
Yeah, okay.
And again, not gonna yuck anybody's yum. It wasn't even a yuck for me. It was just kind of like a, that. It was like a, how many pages can I skip through to get to the point of what anyway, we did get to the point of what I needed to. But she needed me to read like a series of 4.
Oh, no. Oh, that's
We were really invested.
Yeah. Did you read them all?
I did.
Good for you.
There's
That's
a
commitment.
There is a commitment to our clients. But
Yeah.
this is why I see not a ton of clients and then do this podcast.
Yeah. Commitment. On point. Love it.
I don't know of what point where I'll just start to be like, watch episode 8 of I Have Shit to Say and you'll learn something for therapy. I mean, it's not the same as therapy, but you get what I'm saying.
But there are some key takeaways.
I do appreciate a therapy session that includes homework though.
Always.
Vice versa.
Always.
Relational homework.
Yep, always.
So now I'm leaving this podcast knowing that I need to watch the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Okay.
There's like 16 different ones, so
Fair.
make sure you pick the right one.
I get that. So we are filming this in October. It will not be released until in October, which is Pregnancy
and Infant
Loss Awareness Month,
Yep.
which is a hard month for people.
Yep.
And I will say, so like our audience will hear more, like I have also lost a child. I had a stillbirth at 41 weeks. So this topic is like super near and dear to my heart. And I will also say, being on the couch, I'm like, yes, I am a therapist, but I do not see women
Yep.
who have like postpartum mental health issues.
Yep.
But it is something that is near and dear to my heart because it's something like I seek treatment for.
Yep.
And so, yeah, so super heavy, super emotional, but I don't know, give us like the landscape of, I mean, women's health is fucked, period,
Yep.
right? Like they ask us to smash our boobs like pancakes to get mammograms at like
Yep.
what age? Is that the age I'm supposed to be at this point?
40.
Okay, we're gonna pretend like avoidance is a high functioning coping skill.
Okay.
So, so I'm gonna be 40, I'm not doing that. They do wild stuff. Like it's like,
They also tell you to have a baby and then go home and go back to things like everything is normal after 24 hours.
yeah, or being cut open, right?
Major
so I like
surgery.
since had another
Yep.
child,
Yep.
right? Like not only major surgery, wild things happen.
Yes.
We also recently had somebody on the staff who just had a baby, and I'm just kind of like maybe you're okay, maybe you're not okay, but also maybe you don't even know how to tell people you're not okay, and like they don't send you home with manual.
Nope.
It's really kind of fucked.
Yep.
But then there's like, but I don't know who's more fucked to it, right? Like, are women kind of fucked to each other in that we don't talk about it, right? Like, even when people have really tragic birth stories, I feel like eventually it's like, but I had my child, or I like, it's all good. Or like with distance, you tell a different story, right? Or like, you also have no time to grieve the life that you had before and the life that you have now. There's so many pieces. I don't even know where we want to go with it.
Well, and we live in a society where you're like, oh, you get to go home with this wonderful, beautiful being, except that that's not the case for everybody either.
No, that is also true. And also not every being is beautiful, wonderful, magical all the time.
Correct. And also,
Like colic is a thing and like,
Yep.
yes. And also, I interrupted you.
No, you're good. And also, like, my body is no longer my body. It has done this thing.
Also, it's not even the same thing. I mean, like, I will tell you the wildest thing that nobody told me.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of wild things that
Okay.
nobody told me with like being pregnant, having babies, all those things. And also later in life. So I think that also later in life, they assume you know stuff, like
Yep.
that you've been around other people that have had babies, or you've talked about it, or your mom will tell you, or like there's a lot of assumptions.
Yep.
But I also think the wildest thing, like, was that I was like gonna puke before all the business happened, and then because I have a very visceral reaction to puking, but also that then like your hormones don't go back for how many years?
2
years.
2 years.
Right? Like what's the newest thing is like they equate it to like flamingos, like when a mom, do you know what I'm talking about? So a mom flamingo, when she gives birth, like gives all her pink to her child.
Yeah.
Like, so the mom flamingo is white.
Yep.
And it takes them like an inordinate amount of time to get their pink back. So I think people also like
Oh, so it's
postpartum
very
are saying like,
relatable.
I'm getting my
Yes.
pink back.
Yep.
Right? Which is like a really interesting thing. But then 6 weeks. So at 6 weeks, they're like, you can exercise, you can have sex, you can do
go back
all
to
the
work.
things. Like okay, that all of that is wild. It's all wild. You can be functioning like a normal human being, but also your hormones may never really go back to how they were
Correct.
because your whole body and your DNA is altered.
And they also say that sleep patterns don't regulate for like 7 years.
For you or for your child?
For you.
Okay.
But then you throw in multiple pregnancies.
Okay, so now you're like telling me shit I also didn't know. So I got like 5+ years on that one. Okay, great.
Yep. So 7 years sleep
Caffeine.
patterns. Yep. IV it up, please. Please.
It's wild.
Yes.
But also, right, like when do you sleep?
Well, what do they say?
Okay.
When you're sleeping.
Oh, I'm not talking about that. That's also ridiculous.
I know. I know.
Glad we had that talk.
Yeah.
So the risk factors for mental health, right? Because then you're also supposed to do it joyfully. Like you had this baby, you wanted this baby, even if you didn't want this baby, it's like this magical, beautiful blessing from like the heavens. The stork brought it down, right? All this like weird bullshit that we have in the world about having babies, and they're like a gift from God, and like
And just appreciate all of the wonderful goodness.
And like, we don't even need to get into all the fuckery around the fact that women's bodies are not their own right now.
Correct.
Right. And also when I lost my child, there was a formula shortage. There's also recently been tampon shortages. There's like anybody who would like to pretend that there's not a war on women right now. Anyway. I won't get into the political things I'd like to say.
You can say whatever you want to say.
I can, but I also don't need to remind people that like grabbing by their pussies was not a thing that was like set.
It's messed up.
You know, it's
messed up.
It is. So, and I mean, just like women in general, we are also just like, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going.
Because society says you're supposed to have your shit together all the time, no matter what's going on in the world. Because women are supposed to be what? Caretakers and nurturers all of the time.
Correct.
And yes, that is a stigma, and also it plays out in different forms and fashions.
I mean, but that's also like what we're talking about. And we do it to each other.
Yep.
Right? Like my pregnancy was this, or this is how everything is for me, or social media is telling me that this is what it's supposed to be, or this, or that, or right? Like
everything's glamorized.
Yeah.
And if my story doesn't match what's being glamorized on social media or with friends or with other family members, then there's something wrong with me.
And so what is easier? We just don't say anything.
And we just take it and shove it down, and we sit and have really uncomfortable symptoms sometimes that we don't know what to do with, but we just chalk it up to, well, it's postpartum baby blues.
The fact that we even call it baby blues is wild.
I know.
Well, so let's talk about like what are, so there's like DSM, like there's diagnostic criteria for some things, but also everything exists on a spectrum, right? So like I'll never forget even my experience, and I'll talk about this later in an episode with another therapist who has kind of a similar experience, but like even in the hospital after I lost my child, and they were like, here, fill out this survey. But then they were also like, but you're a therapist, so like, we're not gonna like push it on you. And then it was like, do you want medication because you're really sad? And I was like, I just want to fucking go home and like lay in my bed. Like, I don't want anybody to touch me or talk to me. And I'm not gonna fill out your dumb survey. I'm like, I'll do it later. But then also this weird of like, but what you do for a living, like you probably already know. But like, just ask us. It's like this weird, like, let me help you, let me not help you, let me like. And I even feel like even if you haven't had mental health stuff related, or you are bringing a child home, they're kind of like, fill this thing out, whatever, everything's fine, you're like doing great work, everything's beautiful, blah. And it's like, okay, but at what point is the onset later, or you don't know how to ask for it, or nobody educated you? But it's really like, let me throw a survey at you. But so you can have a variety of different things postpartum.
Absolutely.
From a mental health standpoint.
Absolutely. Anxiety, postpartum depression, OCD is actually quite common in women.
Oh, I'm intrigued for you to talk about that. But
and more so from like the intrusive thought component too, and like the obsessive components. But it's something that we don't talk about. Postpartum psychosis is not something that is
And so what does
about.
that look like? So I worked with somebody that ended up having postpartum psychosis.
So, I mean, are there some component like DSM, like, and here's the other thing too, like with the DSM though, is it doesn't classify things specific to postpartum.
No, it's wild, right?
So we're really guessing because you're in a postpartum period and you meet some criteria for psychosis or you meet some criteria for depression. I mean.
And we don't really have providers that specialize in it very often.
No.
Right?
No.
So then we also have some providers that maybe you're seeing pre like having a baby or being pregnant that don't necessarily even know that these are possibilities for you.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you have women who do go into a psychotic episode. Maybe they're seeing things, maybe they're hearing things, and this feels completely out of the realm of possibility. And then not very many women are lining up being like, oh, I need to be hospitalized because I've just had a baby. Other caretakers, significant others, parents, siblings, whoever, they're like, oh, but I need you to stay home and do this. So we're also going to ignore symptoms too. When you have women who are on the verge of a psychotic break.
But then also don't tell you.
Correct.
Or don't even know.
Yep.
Like, I think that's so, like, the friend of mine that I worked with, like, she was like, I didn't know until I was, like, crawling out of my skin and had to be hospitalized. And she was like, and then my only option was to be hospitalized, like, psychiatrically hospitalized. And now I'm away from my baby. So she's like, I mean, also in North America, we're not really making space for, like, how are we recovering and how are we supporting women recovering? And then it's like so bad that that's the only option, that they're then separated and then they feel guilty about that. Like,
well, and no woman wants to sit in front of another person and say, you know what, I'm having some thoughts about wanting to harm my child.
correct.
Because that's not normal.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, what do we do to like all those stories of all the women that have been on, right? Like the Casey Anthonys, all the people of like, they're the worst people in the whole world.
They're vilified, but also the symptoms leading up to some really tragic situations
Are
were
just ignored.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Let me put my sunglasses on and pretend like everything's okay. Out of sight, out of mind. And we keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best.
But I also think that's how we respond when things don't go well with people's like pregnancy or infant or baby journeys, or even those that maybe choose not to have kids. Like that I think applies too, is like maybe they've tried and it hasn't gone well, or maybe they've chosen not to, or maybe, right, we've got IVF, we've got, right, there's all these acronyms and all these things you can do, and like also cost a lot of money. Also aren't a guaranteed result.
Yep.
Also change your hormones. Also change your relationship.
Yep.
Right.
Can we also talk about how we live in a world where a lot of people think that it's okay to ask a woman, are you having children? When are you? Oh, you just got married. When are the babies coming?
I need you not to start that shit when I'm drinking.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but
it's okay. I'm gonna spit my drink out on your face. It's wild. Or when you're maybe a slightly curvier, overweight woman. Are you
when did it become so brazen and okay to just be like,
or when are you gonna have baby?
yeah. Or you just lost a baby. It's okay. You can try again. When are you trying again?
My provider told me, looked at my age, mind you, 6 weeks after my loss, said, I go, well, it takes a while for your body to get back to normal, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I should wait like maybe a year or so or whatever. Like, and she was like, well, don't wait too long. Cause you know, 100%.
That's appalling.
Yeah. But that was the gynecologist at the office that saw me after.
That's appalling.
Yeah. And you're just sitting there.
Shell shocked. Trying to process the fact that I've just, like, I'm very much a parent without a child. And you're sitting here talking to me about I should hurry up and have another one.
You know what I was thinking? You're fucking lucky I even walked through the door today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's wild. And sober. That was my other. But they just, right? Or even like the nurse had walked in and like, you know, and was like typing away, looking at my chart, not really looking at me, right? And just like, how are you feeling after? And I was like, yeah, after labor, and she just kind of turned around, and of course I'm like, silently sobbing, right, gritting my teeth, being like, and she's just kind of like, and I was like,
But why? Because you're supposed to make it okay for them.
Because
Because
you should have fucking read my chart ahead of
Yes.
time. I don't care. There should be a red file. There should be, but right, my story is not like the abnormal.
No.
Right? Like it's not the abnormal for people.
No. And again, you walk into a room in that situation in a provider's office and the expectation has become, oh, you're uncomfortable because you weren't prepared with information, so let me go ahead and make you comfortable. No.
Or let me sit in a waiting room with a lot of pregnant women, or let me, right? Like,
It becomes this concept, and I work on this with some clients, this disenfranchised grief of, I didn't see you grieve, I didn't see you lose a child, therefore it doesn't exist.
Or yes, and or unless you like tell me what you need, right? Like I do think like baby loss is an interesting thing where people are like, well, I don't want to talk about it.
Yep.
Because like I don't want to trigger you.
Yep.
Which is interesting because that's like the opposite of other, like you do a lot of trauma work. That's a lot of the opposite of other trauma stuff where like when people are traumatized going to certain stores or being in their car or go like it's kind of like we have to work through those
what
things.
was the trigger?
And the world is like, well, I can't stop doing this thing, or I can't stop that, or I can't, right? And it's kind of like you have to learn how to deal with it. And it's like, but when it comes to baby loss, it's like, well, just don't say anything.
Except that also when it comes to baby loss, everything in the world becomes a trigger. I can't walk into a grocery store and not pinpoint something that's infant related, kid related, parks, stroll. I mean, school. I mean, everything.
Social media.
Yeah. Social media.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Or at work, right? Like we have so many people that they're like, well, I was at work and like this person's announcing they're pregnant, or like I came back and like she's going and having her healthy baby, or right, like,
or people needing to feel like they have to hide information from me.
Oh, that's icky too.
It is icky
Yeah.
because I'm
Avoidance
still a
is
human
icky.
being, and
Right.
I still can be happy for you and be sad for me.
But the and is the thing, right? Like we pick the one or the other of just
Yep.
like, and so then you get left out, right?
Yep.
So relationships totally change.
Absolutely.
After those things. But I would say, I shouldn't say but, I should also say and, is like, they absolutely change after baby loss.
Yep.
They also change after babies in general,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Like I'll never forget, even after my second child was born, having a friend say, like, reach out, and was like honestly leaning in more towards being a friend. And she said flat out to me, I knew you needed a friend with some, like most of your friends don't have kids. You needed somebody who had kids.
Yeah.
And I don't even think I realized how much I did need that.
Yep.
Like, and not that that's like a better or worse, but it was like different and
Yeah.
a piece of my
I needed this too.
well, it was a piece of my friendship circle, and we've like talked about this in other podcast episodes, like a piece of my bicycle wheel that like I didn't have. Like I didn't actively have a lot of friends that like had kids.
Yeah.
Like, and it was like, oh yeah, there's a whole part of that.
Yep. Yep. And feeling,
And also like having friends that have baby loss.
yeah.
Which is a really interesting thing too. We're having like, it's this creepy club.
That nobody really wants to be a part of, but yet people are joining the club every day.
And you also want to be like, I'm sorry you're part of that, but also thank you for making sure I'm not the only one.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Like, you know, and even in the club, I think this is an interesting piece of the puzzle, is like there feels like there's an icky hierarchy that like the world has really put, right? Like that a stillbirth is worse than a miscarriage, or
But why?
or correct, or a termination for medical reasons makes you an eviler person than like, right? There's so many judgments
Yeah.
around it. It's like baby loss is baby loss.
And it's not a competition. We don't have to compare and contrast who
But
has
it's
it
a really
worse.
interesting
It
like
is.
subset of the community,
Yep.
right? Like
Yep.
where it's like I have to regularly tell people like your loss is just as bad as mine, right? Like
Yep.
it's a
And
loss.
It doesn't have to be one person is sadder than the other. It's kind of, we don't do that with happy.
No.
So why do we have to do it with sad?
Oh, I might do that with happy.
Okay.
If you're toxically positive, please walk away.
Fair.
You
fair.
would be too happy in my circle.
Fair. Okay.
That's
okay.
not therapist Megan. That's
Fair.
but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's less like, right, it's less aggressive, just like,
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
And unfortunately, our world is also like, once you hit that threshold, it's like, well, the squeaky wheel gets the support. So like you have to be
Yep.
the president of the club. Like,
Yeah.
how do you be the president of the baby loss club?
Yeah, I don't know. That's not a job that I would want.
No. Or yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I guess the other part is too, is like, so if you are, and this is like not even to like scare people, right? If you're pregnant or if you're wanting to have babies, you haven't, or, because the other part I think it's important to know for us to even talk about is like, maybe you didn't have postpartum with one child, but you could have it with any pregnancy.
Absolutely.
At any point.
Yep.
And so often we also talk about like, well, my pregnancies have all been great. And like,
Or because you had a normal pregnancy, then you're supposed to have a normal postpartum period.
what do they call that? The fourth trimester?
Yes.
So
Yep.
the fourth trimester clearly lasts like 7 years.
Yeah.
My sleep's not normal. It's still the fourth.
There you go.
I'm still in the fourth trimester.
You are.
I
You
don't.
are.
That's not really the technical thing, but that's what I would say.
But
it is.
it can feel like it.
Yeah.
It can feel like it.
Yeah, it's wild. But like, what are things that women can do for themselves if they are, well, let's like kind of break it down into different things, because we do always like to share some like actionable like psychoeducation pieces of like prenatal, like what are some things that they can do that will be like helpful and supportive for their postnatal.
Well, I think first and foremost, like if you identify with that you have a mental illness prior, like even pre-pregnancy, like there's all this stigma.
Like you're a higher risk.
You are a higher risk already out of the gate. The other thing that there is so much stigma around is medication during pregnancy. And there's actually more of a risk to come off of medication that is effective during pregnancy than there is to stay on it. And find a provider that is well-versed in what medications are less.
So what are questions that people would ask providers? Then like you're talking like your OB, or you're talking like your psych, or you're talking your therapist, or all of the above?
Probably all of the above.
All of the above.
All
so
of
like,
the above.
What would be some interview questions if I am thinking about wanting to get pregnant?
Yep.
Or right, like this is if you've planned. Sometimes we get
Sure.
pregnant with not planning,
Absolutely.
right? So like if I'm thinking and I'm being prepared, like to ask my therapist, my psychiatrist, my OB, what are some questions I might ask?
So one, I'm gonna ask, hey, what are some things that I need to be mindful of? I'm gonna speak, can I speak more from like the provider side? Because I'm gonna speak more of like,
no,
okay,
that's what I want you to.
These are the things that I would be suggesting that like you be thinking about.
I love this.
What am I doing for self-care? How am I prioritizing my own self-care, my own coping mechanisms? What am I already doing to manage depression, anxiety? In terms of like a psychiatrist, okay, are you aware of what medication is recommended? And also, if I'm a female that is going into childbearing years and I know that I want to have kids, then within the next couple of years, what's the likelihood that this medication is going to be able to carry me through pregnancy if I still need it? And also, I have the ability to say, no, I don't want to take that medication. Like, okay, that might be your first recommendation, but I can say no to that too. So what are some other alternatives? Are there alternatives to medication? Because not everybody needs medication, but some people do.
Correct.
And I think that there's also a stigma around you're pregnant, you're taking meds.
Right.
You're nursing, you're taking meds.
Right.
Yep.
But that's also not the war. It's a stigma, but that's not necessarily what the research shows either.
No.
Right.
No.
I mean, I'm also even thinking like you should probably be asking your provider if you've ever worked with pregnant women.
Yep.
Yeah. Like through their pregnancy.
I mean, I hope
and
your OB
postpartum.
would say yes.
But I'm meaning psychiatrist and therapist,
Yes.
right? Because there are, and in our community specifically, we can speak to therapists. There are quite a few therapists that are like, I'm a woman, I have kids, I know how to
Therefore,
treat
I'm
this.
knowledgeable and capable. And your own experiences.
That's like a fuck no for me.
But your own
yes.
experience, like, yes, your own experiences are
It
valid and
informs
important.
you, yes.
It does, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you are in a space to be able to provide care for somebody else who is going through some difficult circumstances.
And or are educated in understanding like the gamut of it, right?
Yep.
Like, because also there, I mean, aside from that, there's also like PMDD, which is like, what is it, post
Premenstrual.
thank you.
Yep.
Dysphoric disorder.
Yes.
Which is like around your period, you have like such intrusive thoughts, like that you feel suicidal or you can't
Yep.
get out of bed. Like and providers don't often always know how to treat things like that, right? So like women really, as much as we don't want to pretend like we're a specialized population, we are. Most things are normed on middle-aged white men.
Yep.
Not all, but most. And so also if your provider is not specialized, that matters.
It does matter.
And we have such more open access to providers through telehealth now.
Yep.
You have choices.
You do. And also, I think too, just being mindful of if I'm going into, like, can I, as a provider,
Yeah.
can I separate my own stuff
Yeah.
from what this
Yeah.
what this client, what this person, what this individual is experiencing too?
Well, yeah, because your therapist shouldn't be giving you advice,
Correct.
right? They
And
should
I
be
shouldn't
asking
be
you
making
questions.
it about me either.
No.
I shouldn't be like, oh,
No.
well, let me tell you about this time.
Yeah, no.
So
No.
can it, like,
It's true. I mean, there's a reason why I don't see people, like I do not see women with baby loss because I'm still working through my
Yep.
own baby loss, right?
Yep.
Like it's just unfortunately like not where I'm at.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
And it is important that your provider knows what they can do and what they can't do.
absolutely, because everybody has limitations, and
Yeah.
that's providers, new moms, moms that have lost children. We all have limitations. Dads have limitations too.
Facts.
So
Well, and I guess that's like, well, we'll get to that because I do want to finish the earlier thread, but I do think we should talk about
Yep.
like men when they become dads and what mental health looks like for them.
Yep.
And because it does look different as
Yep.
well. Like, but so if you're in that kind of like prenatal phase or that pre-planning stage, like to being clear with your providers, asking, like knowing, knowledgeable, what if you are in the pregnant and is anything different that you would suggest?
I would say don't stop. If you're already doing therapy, don't stop going to therapy.
If you're not in therapy yet,
Then maybe, like, I kind of take the premise, I'm like, just about everybody in life could benefit from going to therapy at some point in life. And that doesn't mean it has to be long-term for everybody. It doesn't mean like there isn't
but
a
also
time
your
limit.
life's about to change.
Yes.
Right? Like I will say when my older sister became a mom, she said the thing that like all moms say of like, you won't know until you have your own baby, right? Or parents say that stuff and it's like feels so infantilizing and so offensive. And I think it's like the wrong phrasing to say, but I understand a level of like why it's said, because life before children or attempting to have children is very different than life after.
Absolutely.
And I think that people don't know how to explain that, and it becomes this very weird divide, but your life totally changes for all the ways, right? The good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. And so it is this interesting thing too of like, no matter what is about to happen, things are about to change.
Yep.
And nesting and setting up a room is not going to help you adjust.
No.
It'll be like one step of the puzzle, but like there's a big mental adjustment for that.
Yeah. Well, and I would also say, like, if you don't have a therapist, if you don't have a psychiatrist, having a person that is doing consistent check-ins, whether that's your OB, whether that's a significant other, a family member, of just like, even if I feel like the question, hey, how are you, goes a really long way.
Yes. I also hate that question because people answer with fine.
Well,
you know how I feel about fine.
Yes. But there's a difference between, hey, how are you? And like having the person ask that actually want to receive the information back.
Well, yeah, it matters on the relationship,
Absolutely.
right? But like,
so is there a safe person that can like, no, like tell me like, how are you feeling? How are you navigating? How are you coping? How are you managing stress?
Right.
Are you feeling anything differently? And creating a safe, like ensuring that you have a safe space to be able to say, you know, if someone feels off, this is new, this is different. And I don't know if it's good, bad, or other, I just know that it's different. And I also need you to be aware of it and maybe kind of just help me. Help me navigate it a little bit.
Right. I would also say too, like learning to know the thoughts that you're having while you're having them. I don't think that that's a thing. Yesterday we were talking about it at our book club about like, well, we all know that we have thoughts, and I'm like, maybe, but I don't know that that's like a thing the average human gets taught. Like that, like I have thoughts and I can have thoughts about my thoughts and I can realize that I'm having these thoughts. But those are also really great things to know ahead of time so that when a thought that you're like, I don't like that thought, that's not how I really feel. Because thoughts can pop up.
They absolutely can.
That are like not really ours, but like they're ours.
They are. And when people have some of those thoughts that we don't like, and you're like, oh, then we move into, oh my gosh, am I crazy?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, am I psychotic?
Or will I actually do that? Or will that actually happen? Or
yes. And being able to recognize that a lot of those thoughts do not align with our values and our belief system. And it's okay to say those things out loud.
That's also a muscle to flex ahead of time, right? Like if we are practicing, or if we're not, right? It's like a muscle to learn how to flex and practice at some point, because it's needed. Yeah, it's needed. Yeah. Well, in the postpartum, in the like getting our pink back phase is what I'm gonna call it, like that, 6 weeks, 6 months, 2 years, 7 years. And those all look different.
They do look different, and they look different for every single person.
Yeah. But what are some maybe things that people should be thinking? Okay. If you're the person who's just had a baby.
So if I am noticing feeling more overwhelmed, more fatigued, more anxious, more worried, and yes, here's the thing, all of those things are normal post-pregnancy regardless. So what's like beyond what... And so that's the other part is like we can gaslight ourselves into being like, well, this is just normal. Well, it's just chalked up to you're just tired, you just had a baby, so it'll pass. If it hasn't passed,
I can't roll my eyes hard enough.
But that's what's true. But that's what's said is that
it's totally
because
true.
You just had this happen,
like,
this is how you're
sense.
Supposed to feel.
Right.
So there is a meaning behind it. So it'll get better.
Right.
If it doesn't get better in 6 weeks, you're probably
6 weeks is a long time to not sleep, to feel concerned about like your baby dying or something.
If it doesn't get better in 2 weeks. And that still feels like a really long time.
I mean, 2 hours is a long time when you're like this woman who just like, you know, had her body not be her own and people all up in her business. Yeah. Well, and again, pre-pregnant or post-pregnancy, I'm not really focused on myself. Nope. No. Right. So all of these things that I have, all of these new things that I have going on, I'm not even paying attention. And sometimes I'm not paying attention until I'm so far down a rabbit hole that now I do feel like I'm crazy. Now I do feel like there's something wrong with me. Now I do feel like,
oh crap, well, I've been playing this part for so long that I just need to keep it up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, from like a diagnostic perspective.
Oh, you don't have to share a diagnostic
but
perspective.
I'm just, I mean,
yeah.
they do say like
Yeah.
2 to 6 weeks. And I agree with you. Like if I'm feeling like that after 24, 48 hours, I feel like I'm losing my mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if a nap is not diminishing anything,
no.
yeah, right?
And I'm also not a fan of somebody else telling me how I'm supposed to be thinking or feeling 24, 48 hours,
Correct.
6 weeks after.
Correct. Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, and so I'm also hearing that like if you don't have a village, you need to get a village.
yep.
Right? Like,
And that goes for dads too.
Mm-hmm.
Dads, just because you didn't have the baby doesn't minimize that your life has changed too.
100%. Your wife has changed.
Yep.
Somebody recently had said, actually in a meeting very, very recently, like she did not expect to struggle postpartum. It was the second, and was just like, man, like, I wish I would have married somebody different who would have understood mental health. Like, and it was like, and how much was he prepared or not prepared, and how much, right? Like communication around that. And like, I'm not, not giving him free pass. And right, like what are we doing to like also bring men in to have a part of the conversation, or like, or partners in general, because like it also doesn't necessarily have to be a man. Like you're a partner that is not birthing the child, right? What part of the process is changing their life, and that you're different. Yeah, you're going to impact them. Yeah, if you're not okay, or if you're pretending to be okay when you're not.
Well, and I don't love to talk in like stereotypes and stigmas, but I mean, societal speaking, like men are nuts. It is not as accepted for men to express feelings.
Yeah.
So what do? They go to work, they distract, they avoid, and then you have a woman who is like, wait a second, like, what's going on? Why are we not feeling the same things? Why is my partner angry all the time, when really your partner might not really be angry, but that's just their outward expression.
Right.
And they also don't know what to say. And
they
also
also disconnected, and yeah.
And it is not a parallel process.
No, oh my gosh.
At all.
Not at all. And I would even say in terms of like infant loss, like, like my husband needed to take care of me, and he 100% compartmentalized that. Bless his soul, bless his sweet soul, right? There were plenty of times I wanted to murder him, and he put his business on pause to like make sure I was okay physically, like, and I mean, like he was changing my diapers because we weren't changing a baby's diaper, like, right, all that stuff. And then, and even now, right, like we're 3.5 years like post baby loss, and still things come up, or he has days where he's like, I'm not going to work today. Like I'm just in it. Right. And like and I'm also a provider, but there's moments where I'm like, oh, like I didn't see that coming. And like, thank you for letting me know. And like, do we need to be in it together, and that's okay? Or do you need time, or like, but it has taken a lot for him to even be able to like say or share or be there in it. Like,
Well, and I also think too, like and not always, but sometimes with pregnancy and infant loss, like there's also this idea of like, there's birth trauma. And I might have just watched this person that I love and care about go through a really traumatic thing, and their life might have been in danger as well. And that's an experience for me. Yeah. But again, you're right. Like I compartmentalize it because there's so much emphasis on like, I need to be there for my wife or my partner.
Or I need to pretend like this didn't happen and make everything okay again. Yeah.
But I still had an experience.
Well, right. And it's not, I think we like to think of it as like, it's a secondary. It's like, no, it's not a secondary. It's a primary. Like they also thought they were bringing a child home. They also thought they were going to be a dad, and they are still a dad, and it looks different. And
So being able to create a safe place for that person as well, because their experience is just as important. Just because it doesn't look the same doesn't mean that it's not important.
Totally. And I would even say, again, coming from my experience more, is like the way that the community, and I do want to talk about that, is like the way that community then interacts with you, right? Like is different for men and women after baby loss,
Absolutely.
right? Because like a man didn't really necessarily change. Like they got pumped about something and then that something didn't necessarily happen. But women, your whole body changed, everything. You still had to take off some work and then you have to like kind of go back and pretend like everything's okay. And then people don't want to talk to you and they don't really want to know about what happened or they don't know how to navigate it with like people. I will say all of my relationships changed, right? Like even with my family and with my friends, there are friends that like, I was like, I can't talk to you about this, or like, you don't know how to talk to me. And like, it's not my job to be there for you.
No.
And
it's not my job to make it okay for you.
Yeah.
It is not my job to make my
Right.
situation okay for you.
Right.
So,
Or to educate you on it.
No.
You know, I think like that's an interesting thing too, is like the easiest thing for people to do is like say your baby's name.
I was just gonna acknowledge that
Like,
that
that they
child
were-
exists.
Yes.
Just because they are
Yes.
not running around, crawling, laying, crying,
Yes.
doesn't mean that that child does not exist.
Yes.
And there are parents that work very hard to ensure that their child still has a lasting memory. Because for that parent, whether that child was alive for 3 minutes, 3 days, 3 weeks, that child still had an impact on that person's life.
Right.
A forever lasting impact.
Correct.
And you have family members who
just pretend like it didn't happen.
pretend like it didn't happen.
Or when you get your rainbow baby. I fucking hate that term. Some people love that term. I hate it. But it's like when you get your rainbow baby, everything.
It makes everything okay.
Well, and that's always an interesting thing too. If like then they can come back and like all of a sudden they're like, oh, let's talk. And you're like, wait a minute, you didn't fucking want to talk to me when my kid died.
Yeah.
But now I have a living kid. You're
Yeah.
totally fine with that. Or like if you had children and you lost a child in the middle, right? Like there's like,
Thank goodness you already had some, so this one shouldn't matter.
gosh, the amount of I feel like we could go on for hours about the fucked up stuff people say.
Well, I'm even thinking too, like, let's not even forget about the fact that I might have lost a child, pregnancy,
you know
or
that there's like a fly in here.
pregnancy, during pregnancy,
Yeah.
or through stillbirth or after birth or whatever. And let's talk about pregnancy, like a pregnancy after that, and the sheer terror.
Gosh. My favorite part was like, well, when you hit, and I was like, what? When I hit what? I'll feel okay.
Never.
Like I lost my child at 41 weeks, fine one day, went into labor, wasn't fine, right? Like, tell me when I'm gonna be okay. Like my husband and I still with our 2-year-old, like, right, he plays whack-a-mole every night to look at the baby monitor because he's convinced she's gonna die in her sleep, right? Like that, I don't think that will ever go away for us in a different way than when you become a parent, you always are afraid for your child, right? Like that, it's a very different.
It's very different.
Like, I feel like and again, not the best metaphor, but like we will always have like the phantom limb syndrome. Like we have this like it's a very reality that children die, that babies die, that like our child at any point, like that is a part of our reality. And anybody that could be like, she's fine, she's healthy, she's crying, is like, that doesn't fight any intrusive thought.
No.
Right? Like, and I would say like the same exists for people going through IVF or at any process to have children, right? Like, it's like, well, you have other eggs or you have the other shit, or even like after we lost our child, somebody also was just like, well, are you going to consider IVF? And it was like, what? Like, any advice, unless somebody is asking you openly to share about your journey, just don't.
Yeah.
Just fucking don't.
Or the complete stranger. Are you a mom?
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
Yep. And yes, you are.
Like what?
Yes, you are.
I mean, even as wild as like, I will say, yeah, even as wild as there was one time we were shopping with my parents and I was six months like pregnant with my second. And we were shopping and we went into a store and the woman was like, the woman asked my mom, like, oh, like, is this your first grandchild? And like, my sister has kids. And my mom was like, no. She's like, oh, how many do you have? And my mom was like, 4, like, including this one. And then we left the store and I was just quiet, right? Like, and my mom, like, a day later, it took her a while, like, but I could tell it like hit her.
Yep.
And a day later, she was like, I do need to apologize. And that was like, that part was really healing for me to apologize. Sure. And she's like, I have 5 kids, like grandkids. Yep. I should have said 5. Yep. I didn't think it through and it hit me and it resonated with me in a different way to say that. Like, but just the apology, just the acknowledgement and apology of like, I didn't include your son, like when I said that, and that was not okay, right? Like I think we forget that everybody wants something different after a loss, no matter what stage the loss was in, and like being clear about what people want or don't want, because I've had conversations with people, like TJ and I took, that's my husband for those that haven't heard me talk about TJ, but like we took a trip like after our loss, and we were in Las Vegas, where I'm from, like not to party it up, but to just like have an escape, be with some family. And we were at the pool, and somebody had asked him if we were parents, and he answered yes, and that we had lost a baby. And I was in it. I was like, oh, I had to go back to the room. I was like, and like he came back up and he was like, that was the wrong answer. And I was like, it wasn't the wrong answer. It just wasn't the one I was ready to give. And him and I talk regularly, and I've talked to my parents too, even about like, sometimes I don't tell people that information, and sometimes I do tell people that information, and I don't always know when it's gonna happen, right? And not everybody's that way, but that's been my experience of like, sometimes I don't wanna explain to people, and sometimes I don't wanna have the follow-up.
I don't have the energy to be able to.
Also, sometimes I'm like, you don't fucking get to know my trauma. Right? Like you just don't, right? Like, it's interesting, but like making space for somebody in your life to tell you that matters. Like there are people that have come to my life not knowing that I have lost a child, and sometimes I will drop it in conversation, and I'll be like, we'll circle back to that weird shit that I just shouted, you know? So everybody shares it differently, like, but being able to be a safe person.
And again, I just acknowledging that not everybody's story is going to match. And that's okay too.
And also like pregnancy is not all magical.
No.
Postpartum is definitely not magical.
It is definitely not magical. And also like pregnancy, infant loss, my body still behaves, acts in a way like I just brought home a baby.
Oh yeah, no.
I still have to heal from childbirth. I still have milk.
Oh yeah.
Which is uncomfortable, baby or no baby.
Correct.
So.
And then the weird things they tell you to do for that. To put
they don't work.
No, well, one did work for me, but they really don't. They're like, you could take Sudafed to dry yourself up, which is wild to basically be like, I have to treat this like natural bodily function like it is an illness. Or to put cabbage leaves on them. I'm like, that did not do shit.
No.
But like, that's wild that it's either this super medical thing or this really weird woo-woo holistic thing. Right? Like, and I think at one point somebody also had said to me like, oh, don't worry, it was your first, so like your milk's probably not gonna be great anyway. I was like, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We're just gonna chalk up the...
Yeah, I don't even know how you would respond to that.
I definitely didn't. I just gave them a nasty look. But that's the thing is I think it's really hard because we don't always want to respond. Because the shit we would say would really bury some people.
It would. And then some people feel like they're in a space of, oh crap, I've made you uncomfortable and now I have to fix it for you.
Which is also like, then that's a burden. So I think that's the other part is like, if somebody lets you know that you've caused harm around the way in which you speak around the topic, like, it is your job to go back and see what they want and or need, right? But not in a like, let me fix it for you, let me buy you coffee or like offer you a gift or offer you like, don't do that shit.
No.
Just don't.
No, I like what you said, like even with your mom, like, you know what, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's it.
Like be accountable.
I should have done this.
Own your shit. Own your shit.
Right? I should have done this and I didn't. Is that something you would like me to do moving forward? Right? Like.
But I also think that goes too with like, if you have a close enough relationship with somebody, it is okay to ask them how they would like you to approach the topic.
100%.
Because you are going to encounter people who are going to be like, you know what? This is okay. This is okay. This is not okay. But ask me. Like, I'm the expert on me.
And if those people just say, I'm in the place where I'm pretending like it didn't happen, great. Okay. That's okay. And know that that can change in 2 hours, in 2 days, in 2 weeks, in 2 months, in 2 years, right? Like, I mean, I used to not be able to say anything about it I also used to not be able to say anything about it without losing my shit or like, right? Like, I think it comes in waves and there's still days and times that's the case, but.
Well, and I think there's another piece of it too, that sometimes when you experience pregnancy loss and infant loss, there's the shame and guilt of what's wrong with me. Like, what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't want to acknowledge, like, I just want to sit in my shame spiral because I'm not ready to look at it from a different space either.
And I will tell you from my experience that men also experience that. And that's not talked about. Like, not to throw my husband under the bus, but like that regularly would come up. And I was always like, even as the mom was like, oh, I wasn't even right. There are pieces of his story that I wasn't fully prepared for either, of just like, oh, you think there are things that you contributed to this,
or that you could have done differently, or I could have done differently.
Right.
So,
Which is also like kind of going back to what you had mentioned earlier about like OCD becoming a thing postpartum, whether there's a loss or not, I think is an interesting piece in speaking. And like, I don't know if you can share more about OCD doesn't necessarily look like ritualistic hand washing and like, and like routines with touching things or counting. Like it can look like that. And I don't know if you want to speak more to that in terms of like postpartum or things like that.
That obsessive component in your brain, like that intrusive thought process that feels like it's a never ending spiral
Which can play into even the infant loss too.
Absolutely. Of what did I do wrong? What do I need to do to take care of my baby? Am I not a good parent? Am I not a good mom? Am I not taking care of? Am I not providing? Like those all play into like the OCD, like intrusive thought components that.
Well, and our medical providers don't help either.
No.
If your kid's not gaining weight or like if you're not doing well yourself, like,
Am I breastfeeding when I'm supposed to be bottle feeding? Am I bottle feeding when I'm supposed to be breastfeeding? Like,
am I latching okay? Are they sleeping? Are they sleeping with me? Are they like, there's hot button issues.
Or I need to check my baby every 20 minutes to ensure that they're breathing, and I need to watch them. Do your thing.
No, but there are those things where it's like,
that very quickly can escalate to I am sitting in this obsessive thought pattern,
staring at a baby monitor, or like,
and it comes from a real space of fear, and it comes from a real space of I'm not good enough, I'm not capable,
and no amount of a friend offering you a break or a mom or a parent like letting you go shower. Like, I think those are those things that we like quick fix think of, like, you just need a nap, like I'll hold the baby monitor, like let you get a shower. And it's like, no, that's like gonna make it worse for me. Right. In this moment, it's like at that point, it really is like, we need to be thinking about a provider and like medication at those points.
Absolutely.
Right. Because I do think like those are the points where like friends then come and rally and see something's not okay if you haven't left the couch for the 2-hour nap your baby's taking and all you're doing is staring at the screen or like.
Well, and I think even like when we talk about like newer modalities and interventions and like the IFS, internal family systems work of like, that part of me is serving a purpose. That job, that part of me right now has a very innate
so you can't
job.
Fire me.
No.
You're not going to fire me from that job.
Heck no.
You're clearly not going to fire my husband from that job for another 12 years, I think. I'm convinced. Right? Because it's serving there's like a self-soothing piece of it of like, oh yeah.
And if you don't have somebody that's experienced in a space, okay, like that is serving a purpose, it's fulfilling a role, it's fulfilling a job.
Well, and even to educate you that that's what it's connected to, right? Because I'll never forget like going to a friend's house. Actually, we had her on the podcast, Becca, one of my 2Bs on the couch a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
And like, her kid was down for a nap. Her daughter and my daughter are 3 weeks apart. And I was like, where's your baby monitor? Mind you, they're like 6 months old at this point, right? I was like, she was like, what do you mean, where's my baby monitor? I was like, where the fuck's your baby monitor? And she was like, I don't know, in the other kitchen. Then she got it. And I was like, do you not have video on your baby monitor? Like, she just had the sound on. And I was like, what? And she's like, I can probably hear it. I was like, what do you mean you can probably hear her? I think there's like 40 sound machines on in your house. Like, you're not going to hear her. And like, anyway, and that was the first moment that I was like, oh, this is maybe a problem for me, but like not a problem because like I don't care and it's not hurting anybody and it's fine. But like other people, it was like the first moment that I was like, oh, other people don't live like checking that they see the rise and fall of their kid's chest like every 10 minutes. It's wild. Right? Like, and if you don't know, like so much about like parenting and motherhood is like everybody just assumes everybody knows.
Well, it's subjective. They think that it's
nobody
objective.
Knows. I don't even think they think that. I think they just are like, everybody knows how to change a diaper. Everybody knows, like, I'll never forget my husband being like, can somebody show me how to change a diaper? And I was like,
you don't know how to do this?
They
Why
were
don't
actually
you?
very loving to him, but
Yeah.
I think if I would have asked as the mom, they would have been like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Right?
Except
like,
that if I've never had to do it before, why am I supposed to be expected to know how to do it?
but I think we're expected to know how to do everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. And so
Yeah.
when you find out people do it differently, you're kind of like, it's hard not to be like, oh, that's wrong. I should be doing that.
Yep. It's hard not to be judgy towards ourselves.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct.
Yep. And we're already judgy enough.
I know, right?
And that adds a whole
Real
nother-
Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Yes.
Circling back around.
Yes. But that also adds another layer of judgy.
Yes, but listen, our self-care is about being judgy. We're out here trying to judge
Fair.
Whitney's Dancing with the Stars.
Fair. Yes.
But I think there's a difference between like discernment judgment and like, judgment for funsies, like with
Fair.
stuff that's not harming things, and then like judgment that is harmful, right? Right.
Yep.
I think a lot of, and we have had some episodes with Brittany on like self-compassion of like that idea of like self-kindness and like, that's really hard work.
It
like,
is, and not
it's also why I
everybody's-
fucking hate it. I'm like, no, thank you.
Well, because not everybody's ready to do it. And also, like, we would give somebody else that kindness and compassion to be able to say, like, you haven't done this before. You shouldn't know how to do this. You shouldn't know how to
But
grieve.
are we? Because we're also not.
I
like, right?
know.
We're also out here being like,
But we should be.
shoulda, woulda, coulda.
I know.
Wouldn't that make the world such a better place?
Well, yeah.
On that note, I do feel like it's like we could talk for hours.
Yes.
But I do think like we should wrap up with some like key takeaways, including that the world would be a better place if we were less judgy and more kind.
Fair. Yes. Yes. Point taken.
And in terms, I think we should break it down in terms of supporting, like if you want to support somebody who has had difficulty around like infant loss, pregnancy, like getting, just difficulty around birthing
Yep.
and pregnancy.
Yep.
What would be your key, like, do this, don't do this?
First and foremost, ask them what they need or want. I think first and foremost, let them be the expert on what they need or want. And if that means I don't want to talk about it, respect it. If that means this is what I need you to do, respect it. Just because you don't like the answer doesn't mean it's not the right answer for them.
Correct. And then if you are supporting somebody who has just had a child and gotten to take them home and they are in that fourth trimester,
Yep.
whether it is 2 weeks, 2 years, 2 hours, 2 whatever, like,
This is gonna sound really, don't normalize their symptoms. Don't chalk it up to, it'll be okay, it's gonna pass.
but I think we say that for us, right?
Well,
like
yeah.
we say that so that we don't,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Okay.
Let them know that it's okay to ask for extra support and extra help. And also too, if I'm a new mom, and I am a parent, I mean, I have multiple kids. Like,
I love how you said it.
it doesn't have to be okay. It doesn't have to, like, we don't get to take, like, that also is not.
At any point of their life, by the way.
No.
I think my mom would still say, I'm 40, and my mom would be like, and still there are times it's not okay as a mom, right? Like,
No.
yeah.
And I'm still learning, and it's okay for me to say, I don't know what to do, and I need help.
Yes. And knowing what kind of help they need. I
Yep.
think sometimes too, making sure that the help that you're providing is like within your ability to
Absolutely.
provide,
Yep.
right? Like, and even like the help that I can provide as somebody who's lost a child might look different at different stages than somebody who hasn't,
Yep.
and vice versa, right?
And
like,
circling back to, like, my experience doesn't have to mirror their experience.
100%.
And knowing my limitations and being able to separate, like, I can make this about them and not have to make it about me at the same time.
Totally. And if you want therapy and you're struggling with postpartum stuff,
Yep.
your certification is...
Call me.
Well, call Lindsay. We can link you. But there is like an association, right? Or like an agency that also certifies
So
people
Postpartum Support International.
Okay, we'll
they
link
have
those
Yep.
like in the bio.
blog, website, Facebook, social media,
Okay.
online support groups. I mean, you name
And
it.
can you search for people that have your license? Okay, so I
Yep.
think that's a really helpful thing, is like get a provider that is specialized, get a provider who's trained, like you've had to take classes and tests and like,
Yep.
right, in the same way that they say don't see a life coach when you should see a therapist. Also see a therapist that specializes in the thing you're dealing with. And it's okay if you had a provider previously that doesn't specialize in this and you need to switch.
Yep.
Like we understand.
You're allowed to break up with your therapist if they're not giving you what you need.
Totally. Always.
And that doesn't mean that they're a bad therapist.
No. All good.
So.
all parts are important.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts?
No, this was cool.
Thank you for
Have
coming.
me back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
We're going to talk about trauma.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, crushing it.